All right, welcome everybody to Respawn Please Podcast, the weekly video game podcast where two dum-dums come together to talk on thick video games. I'm your host, Jesus, and with me, as always, is Ell. Ell, how's it going?
Hey, I'm doing well, just hanging out here I'm so happy that it's Friday. And other than that, I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm alive and I'm here. It's the final days of spring break for me. For those who don't know, I am a college professor in the daytime, and we've been on spring break. And I've enjoyed this week of freedom. It's been relatively quiet. I've been playing a lot of video games, mainly just World of Warcraft. But then Wednesday, you and I on the stream dived into a little game called Sons of the Forest.
Yep.
And that's pretty much all I've been doing. Since we played it on Wednesday. I am addicted to Sons of the Forest. I love that game. The game's fun.
Nice.
But that's basically been my week, is me dreading going back to school next week and then playing Sons of the Forest. I did take a break today, multiple breaks today, to play Resident Evil 4.
Oh, yeah. I heard great things.
It dropped today, and we'll talk about it here in a second. And then I've been, of course, playing Diablo beta. Diablo beta started back up, the open world. So play it, L, so you can get a free, so you can, one, see if you like it, and two, if you get to level 20, you get a little cool backpack puppy. That's cool for your character to run around with, a little cosmetic backpack with a puppy in it. It's adorable as all hell.
Nice.
Play the Necromancer class. Necromancer OP as fuck. All you got to do is summon a couple skeletons and then just sit back and let the skeletons do all the work. And, then you have to run away if something like gets past the skeletons. But skeletons will do all the work for you. So
nice.
But yeah, we'll talk about the Diablo beta in a little bit. We'll talk about Resident Evil. There's so much to talk about. But before we get into that, Al, what have you been playing? What you've been consuming this week? What you've been doing? Consuming makes it sound like I'm asking if you've been like doing drugs or something.
Yeah.
So if you've been doing that, don't answer that question.
No. So what I've been playing, of course, I've been playing Overwatch 2 a little bit. I told you this, I think yesterday or the day. No, it's probably on Wednesday stream.
Yeah.
Where I told you I made it finally to plat. I got to plat and there was like confetti that fell from the sky and I was like, whoa. And then I was like, okay, back to normal. But I've been having fun that, and I can tell I've gotten way better. But still fun. Still love the game. So I've been playing Overwatch 2, played a little Vampire Survivors, of course, Sons of the Forest with you, Slay the Spire, and I want to say, what else have I? There's like one more game I felt like I'm missing, but I can't put my finger on it. I think that actually might be it. Oh no, sorry, Grand Theft Auto 3, the definitive edition. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
It's a variety.
Congratulations on Overwatch. I think this is a good time to announce that I've retired from Overwatch. I'm never going to play it again.
Oh my God.
I'm done. We may play it occasionally. I don't know.
Of course.
If you convince me, but I'm done. I'm never going back to Overwatch. I've realized that.
Hilarious, yeah.
Because I don't like playing it by myself, and then you and Blitz and Little Dove. Well, I guess mainly you and Blitz. Just you ran off and left me behind. I'm like, whatever, fine. I understand.
I'm still trying to bring DPS up to gold because I'm venturing into the DPS realm now, and so like I'm in gold, which is all right, which is how it was with support. But I want my DPS to get into plat because. I've actually enjoyed that a lot more lately than playing support. So I even thought about going tank plat. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, the season ends soon, right? It ends in April.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. Ends in April, and they're going to get started for the next season. So a lot of stuff coming.
There's going to be a new support in the next season, right?
Yeah, new support. And then some. Oh yeah, it's going to be cool. I can't wait to see the next support character. See what they bring.
No.
Yeah,
nice.
What you been playing?
Well, does that mean because you're plat and I'm gold, does that mean we can't play together? Like if you get higher in plat?
No, we can still play together. I think that I think we'll probably be close to each other as far as like, even though depending where you are in gold, there's like 5 ranks if I remember correctly.
I'm gold 5, I believe.
Gold 5, okay. And I think I'm plat 5, so that's like right before going back to gold. And so like I just broke in, or I might be plat 4, I can't remember. But we will be able to play together what'll just happen is that the system will try to find other people that are, close to our SR or whatever.
Okay.
And so that'll happen. But I learned, this is random, I'm going on a tangent, but what I learned is that supposedly when you play Overwatch with people and you group up, supposedly it's more punitive on your SR when you're grouped up with people. Because most of the time what happens is you're playing with other people who are grouped up as well, versus if you were to play by yourself. And so it's very interesting. I don't know why they do it like that, but hey, I think it's to prevent people from like.
So what
just
you're telling me
through.
is I've been holding you back.
No. No, I think they said that in groups, Overwatch is going to be more difficult to play when you're grouped up than it would be if you were alone. Okay. Just because the system, I think, has to work a little harder to find other people that are also grouped up in the same range, in the same tier. And so what they noticed, because they did some sort of developer update where they were saying that if people who group up, it's fine. But if you're in competitive grouped up, your SR, you're constantly going to go either very high up or you're going to go very high down. And it's just going to be a bigger drastic change every time you win or lose. And so it's crazy.
All right. Well, never going to play again. There we go. What I've been playing though, sorry.
No, I said what you've been playing.
I've been playing World of Warcraft.
Of course,
love that. Love it. World of Warcraft. Sons of the Forest. Diablo, of course, and Resident Evil 4 today. That's basically all I've been playing. I haven't really done anything other than those games.
Nice.
It's been mostly World of Warcraft. I'm trying to think. Did I play anything else? I started playing Borderlands just because I was bored. Borderlands is a good. Borderlands is similar to like how I feel about Diablo. This is This is not for Diablo 4. This is just in general Diablo. It's just a good like turn your brain off, turn on a podcast, listen to podcasts. Like nothing is super serious in Borderlands. You're just running, gunning, shooting things, getting loot, all that stuff. Like you don't need to focus on a story or anything really. It's just good old fashioned shooting and getting loot. And then, so it's a good little thing. So I started doing that. And I mean, I don't know. I think it's more or less because like last weekend I was like nonstop head over heels deep into Diablo last weekend. And so when Diablo, the beta ended on Monday, I was like, man, I need that Diablo itch. I need that Diablo itch. I could have played Diablo 3 or Diablo 2, but for some reason I went with Borderlands. I don't know why. I could have just gone to Diablo 2 or 3. Instead, I went to the Borderlands. Man, just to freshen things up. So I played a little bit of that and it was fun. It's fun. Borderlands is fun. Are you a Borderlands player?
I played, I think, one, but I never finished it. And so I never got super into it when it first came out. I tried to because I think there were times, when Xbox was doing those free games every other month or something like that.
Yeah, games with gold.
Borderlands, games with gold. I think Borderlands either 1 or 2, they were giving it away, and I got it for free, and I was like, oh, I should play this, and I started, and I was like, never finished it, and so.
Yeah, it's understandable.
Nice.
Borderlands is such a weird game because like if you don't vibe with the humor, then it's hard to get past some of the like. Because let's be real, the gameplay itself fairly simple and straightforward. Not anything too exciting. It doesn't like revolutionize first person shooters or anything like that. And then like it's just good. It does it well and it's just fun. Anyways, but the humor is a big like barrier for a lot of people. I know a lot of people find Claptrap annoying as hell. Oh yeah.
It's like for I was going to say that Claptrap, what I've noticed when it first came out, a lot of people, it was either you love Claptrap or you hate Claptrap.
Yeah.
It was just because of like the humor and stuff. And so it just depended. So I always heard nobody was in the middle. It was always like, oh, I think this is hilarious. Or they were like, I hate this robot. Kill him. I'm like,
yeah, I was in the camp of liking Claptrap for a while. And now like recently when I started playing this week, I was like, man, Claptrap, just go the fuck away. Stop talking to me. I was just like, Claptrap, I don't need you to talk to me. Just go away. And so
that's hilarious.
But back in the day when it first came out, I was all on board for Claptrap because Borderlands 1 came out in like 2008, 2009, somewhere around there.
Wow.
And so I was a young, dumb 19, 18-year-old.
Wow.
loved Claptrap. And now I'm 33 and I'm still a young dumb idiot, but I do not like Claptrap that much anymore. But I think because my patience has gone down.
Gotcha.
Am I tolerant? I don't know. I don't know how to describe it.
It's funny, you talking about Borderlands actually reminded me that I was thinking about going through and replaying the Outer Worlds because they just dropped a Spacer's Choice thing. Yeah. It's like revamped and stuff, and so I was like, oh, this might be cool because I really love that game. That game's amazing. Pretty good. What's it called? Role playing. I don't know what kind
RPG.
of RPG. Yeah,
it's just an RPG.
There you go. It's super fun. But anyway,
yeah, it is by Obsidian. Obsidian created Outer Worlds. They also created Fallout New Vegas, which people say is the best Fallout. I don't know if I agree with that.
Interesting.
Granted, Fallout's never been a big series for me. I like the Fallout games, but yeah.
For some reason, this is random going on another tangent. Fallout, I played Fallout 3 because that's the one that had Liam Neeson in it, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
He was a voice actor in there.
He was your dad.
That's right. And I played that for a little bit, but the combat's not bad. I just remember at first not understanding, how sometimes when you enter in like a combat mode where it kind of slows down and you're aiming to where you want to shoot.
Use the correct term. It's called VATS, okay?
Oh, excuse me, VATS.
VATS, okay.
VATS. It didn't just stick with me because I was like, I want fast action, just doom, just buildings blowing up or just whatever. And so at first I was like, I couldn't get into it. Never finished it, but I've always tried to go back and play it because I'm starting to like more like RPG games like that. And so I'm like, well, maybe I'll like it this time. And I just need to finish it and play through.
Yeah. I mean, if you like Outer Worlds, then you'll probably like Fallout. I mean, they're very similar in terms of like the open world, the way their open world is structured and just like the way their narratives are structured and stuff like that. They're fairly similar. I mean, it makes sense because Obsidian worked on Fallout New Vegas. Yeah. So it makes sense. And I mean, obviously you probably don't want to play Fallout 76.
Oh yeah.
Because Fallout 76 is that it's not an MMO, but it's sort of like an MMO. Anyways, it's not important.
Anyway.
But yeah. Oh man. I was about to say something else and I forgot. Oh, and Obsidian also made South Park Stick of Truth, if you ever played that.
Oh, yeah.
They did not make Fractured But Whole, but they did make Stick of Truth. So
nice. Interesting.
Yeah, the Obsidian's making another Outer Worlds 2, and they're also making, I want to say, making another RPG, and I can't remember the name off the top of my head. Avowed, I believe it's Avowed.
Avowed. Nice.
I think that's right. I'm going to look it up real quick. Avowed. It's Avowed is being developed by Obsidian Entertainment. So for the Xbox Series X and S and PC. So
nice.
There you go. But we've rambled on long enough about video games. Let's talk about, well, I guess we're still going to talk about video games, but let's talk about Resident Evil 4 Remake. So I have a review roundup, and then I'm going to talk about my brief experience as well so far with it. But let's start with the review roundup. Over on IGN, Tristan Ogilvy gave it a 10 out of 10. And this is from IGN, from the review. Whether you're a fan of the original or a newcomer with a hearkening for some action-heavy horror of the highest quality, Resident Evil 4 is like a parasite-riddled Spaniard. I'm confused by this statement. Let me rephrase this. Resident Evil 4 is like a parasite-riddled Spaniard, a total no-brainer. I still don't understand what they're trying to say.
Oh, okay. I see what they're saying, but that first part of the sentence caught me off guard. I was like, whoa.
Yeah. I still don't think I understand. My reading comprehension, not good. How am I a teacher? Anyways, its combat is friction-free, but no less stress-inducing. Thanks to a ferocious cast of creatures, its story rapidly shuttles through a series of action scenes that are diverse in structure, but uniformly unwavering in intensity. And its world is rich in detail and full of fun and often snarling surprises. Its improvements over the original are too numerous to list, from simple quality of life changes to completely overhauled boss fight mechanics. And with the exception of the disappointingly diminished personality of the merchant, the team at Capcom has barely put a foot wrong. I like how they highlight that, the merchant was what are you buying?
What are you buying?
Yeah. Over on Game Informer, Blake Hester gave it a 9.5 out of 10, saying the Resident Evil 4 remake is about everything I could have wanted. But importantly, it doesn't overwrite its predecessor. If anything, this new version reinforces why the original Resident Evil 4 is a game people should still seek out, play, or at least watch and learn about. But as a love letter to one of the greatest games of all time, as a new historical artifact that reinforces why the source material was so landmark in the first place, this new trek through the Spanish countryside is as good as it gets and makes a great game that much better. And then this is one of the lower scores, and I was interested in bringing this up too. Over on PC Gamer, Rich Staten gave it an 80 out of 100, saying, if Resident Evil 4 Remake was an original standalone title, it would be a good game indeed. Anyone who plays this will have a fun time. Maybe not on hardcore, though. It really is brutal. But this is not a standalone game. It's a remake of one of the greatest games ever made. When it comes to the crunch, it falls short. Where the original felt expansive, this feels cramped. And where the original went on breathless tangents and threw one idea after another at the player, this feels, in the second half especially, like it settles into a groove and isn't especially interested in breaking free of it. Much of this is forgotten when, in the utter maelstrom of battle, you're surviving by the skin of your teeth and blasting through a sea of limbs and teeth with knife-edge parries and outrageous firepower. But outside of this exquisite action core, Resident Evil 4 Remake feels like a game that runs out of ideas and most unforgivably jettisons many parts that made the original so good without having any ideas of what to replace them with. So, a little more on the negative side there.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised by the reviews. I'm not surprised seeing these 10s out of 10s, these 9s, and even in some cases the 8s. I think the 8s, this, like, for all intents and purposes, we're going to say this PC Gamer is an 8 out of 10, right? 80 out of 100, whatever. But I'm not surprised seeing like the 10s and the 9s because, people have always regarded Resident Evil 4 as one of the greatest games of the generation for what was it? It came out on PS2, right?
PS2, yeah. PS2.
So,
GameCube and all that.
Yeah. Often regarded as one of the best games ever made for that generation that it was in. I didn't play Resident Evil 4 until much later. I've said this before. I'll say it again here. I'm not a Resident Evil person. I don't like Resident Evil games that much. Couldn't get into 2. I hated my playthrough of 2 when I played Resident Evil 2 Remake. Resident Evil 4 is actually the only Resident Evil that I've completed from start to finish. And that was I want to say it was 2017, 2018 when I actually did a full playthrough of Resident Evil 4. But with that said, I'm very familiar with Resident Evil because we had our roommate, our friend,
Ron
in college was like obsessed with Resident Evil. So like I got to experience Resident Evil through him. And so never felt like I needed to play it. And here we are now. I wasn't going to buy Resident Evil 4 Remake. I wasn't. And then on the whim, I was like, you know what? Why not? I actually ordered it on like Tuesday.
Wow.
It was like a last second decision. I was like, I have a little bit of money I can spare. Why not?
Nice.
So I went ahead and bought it, and I played for about 2.5 hours today, 3 hours. So like I'm by no means like deep into the game or anything, but I can say that I am enjoying what I'm playing so far. Game is like ridiculously beautiful to look at. I don't know if you've like watched gameplay or anything like that. It is gorgeous. Like it is. I think the IGN review here points out the world is rich in detail and full of fun. Like the detail in this world is fantastic. Like everything looks amazing. Leon looks great. The village, that opening village that you go to with the chainsaw man, freaking dope as hell. I haven't run into anything that has made me go, oh god, this is just ugly to look at. I mean, grotesque, of course, but like not anything just going like this looks awful. Gameplay feels great too. I'm like in a weird thing where I'm playing it on mouse and keyboard, and I keep wanting to play it like I played Dead Space. And the two aren't really they're very similar, sort of, not really. But I keep wanting to play it like Dead Space because, like, I just prefer Dead Space. I know this is gonna sound wonky to a lot of people. Like, what? Why do you not like Dead? There would be no. Dead Space wouldn't exist without Resident Evil, blah, blah, blah. It was like, okay, cool, whatever. I just prefer Dead Space. I like the combat of Dead Space more. And so that's the main, like, even now with this remake, I still, like, hot off the heels of Dead Space remake, you know, back in January, I still prefer the Dead Space combat over the Resident Evil combat. And so it's been like a weird kind of thing for me where I'm trying to go, oh, nope, I got to almost like rewire my brain and go, nope, this isn't Dead Space. You have to do it this way. You can't. And it's not even like it's a drastic change or anything. It just, you know, I'm trying to play it like Dead Space. I want to cut off limbs. I want to shoot the limbs. Oh, that's not how you do this. You can't do that with this. Resident Evil, you got to go for the headshots and all that and everything. And sometimes that doesn't even work. I will say I'm surprised because I did play with controller for a little bit. Did play with my PlayStation 5 controller a little bit. Definitely a mouse and keyboard. It feels better on mouse and keyboard to me than the controller does.
Interesting.
But yeah, that's pretty much all the positives I have.
Okay.
My biggest gripe, and this just goes for every Resident Evil that I've ever played, I don't give a shit about what's going on. Like I haven't been given a reason to care about Leon. I haven't really been given a reason to care about the president's daughter, whose name is escaping right now. We have to go rescue her. I haven't been given a reason to care about any of these characters that I've met so far.
Is it Ashley?
I think so. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, Ashley Graham.
Yeah. Like I just like, and it's just, and I felt this way about all the Resident Evils, even though I felt that about Resident Evil 2. Feel about this. I just don't care about the story. And I'm like, I haven't been given a reason to care about it. And since I don't have that nostalgia connection to these characters, I don't know how far it would go for a player. You know what I mean? For someone that's new to Resident Evil, that goes, oh yeah, should I jump into Resident Evil 4? And like, if you want to have a good time, like the combat's fun. It's beautiful to look at. So I would say go ahead and play it because it does feel good. But I don't know how I would explain the story to somebody. I don't if that makes sense.
No, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I get that.
So yeah, it's like that's my biggest hang up right now. One of the things that I haven't really one of my problems with Resident Evil 4, the first, not the remake, but the first version, I'd never enjoyed the boss fights at all. I thought the boss fights in the original were cumbersome and annoying as all hell. And I kind of still feel that way, but I haven't been into too many boss fights. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I've only done one. And I was just like, this is annoying as all hell. I don't want to do this. So that's another hang up for me is like, I'm not enjoying the boss fight mechanics right now. But everything else I'm enjoying. I'm enjoying the gameplay. I'm enjoying the graphics. The sound design is honestly a 10 out of 10. It's the sound design, the feel that as you're walking through, like, especially when you first start the game and you're walking through to a house and then to the village and stuff and like hearing the sounds all around and everything. I'm like, oh God, like this is like an exquisite sound design. This is just perfect. It goes back to Dead Space. I'm going to bring back Dead Space. Dead Space also had a really good sound design. I think horror just in general lends itself to have good sound design in video games. But like Dead Space and Resident Evil 4 remake, I cannot see any other games like surpassing these two in sound design, because like Resident Evil 4 sound design is just fucking phenomenal. Like, if nothing else, just turn it on and listen to it, and like you'll hear things, and it's amazing. Which is a weird thing to just say, because like of course you're gonna hear something, so I don't know how to explain it more than that. But yeah.
It makes sense.
But yeah, so what are your thoughts on Resident Evil? Are you surprised by these reviews? Are you excited about these reviews? Are you planning on playing Resident Evil? I'm sorry, I'm throwing a million questions at you.
Oh, no, you're fine. It's actually good. So I'll tell you this one. I'm mixed as far as like the mixed of excitement and surprise with the reviews, because like you mentioned earlier with our friend from college, Ron, he loved Resident Evil. It was like if not his favorite series, one of his favorite series.
Yep.
And he would always talk about Resident Evil 4, and he, played a bunch. And I always remember Resident Evil 4 because of the main character you play as, Leon Scott Kennedy. Yeah. And he was like this really cool agent guy, out here to save the president's daughter. And that one always stood out to me back in the day just because of the setting of it. It's set in Spain. in this old village, and I was like, "Ooh, that's kind of cool." You know, how did the outbreak get here, or whatever's happening there. So when they announced that the remake was gonna, I guess the remaster you would call it, just the remaster.
No, this is a full remake. Like this
full remake.
Remaster is usually like just upgrade to graphics and stuff. This is like they have added a whole bunch of like new puzzles. They've something I should have probably talked about. They've added a bunch of new puzzles. They've kind of like recreated Resident Evil from like the ground up, pretty much using their I can't remember what the engine's called. But like they remade it from the ground up pretty much. So like it's still Resident Evil, and like it's still for the most part beat for beat the story elements of Resident Evil 4, but they've added like new creatures, they've added new they updated the mechanics. So like in Resident Evil 4, the original, you had to like stop and shoot, and this you can still move and shoot in this one.
Shoot. Gotcha.
So they like updated it so you could do that. And again, new puzzles, new ways to like navigate and all that stuff. So yeah. No, but I'll say that's so cool that they did that, because they're basically breathing new life into it. Yeah. I would say that the reason why I was surprised, just because one, I think when the original came out, I didn't hear too much about it outside of our friend. Like nobody talked about it, nobody played, not that I knew of, But whenever this one was going to come out before it dropped, I was like, people were getting hyped for it and they were getting excited. And I was like, from some of the trailers and stuff, I was like, I'm actually kind of interested, because I'm not super big into Resident Evil either as well. The only one I've ever played was 3 with Nemesis. And that one, I think I played when it was on PlayStation 2 before that remake, or that whatever they I think was it a remake too? Yeah, it was. So Resident Evil 2, 3, and now 4 all have remakes.
Okay. So I played the original on PlayStation, and it was fun, but it just wasn't my type of game. But seeing all the hype around this one, I was like, whoa, it feels like a brand new game. It actually looks really cool. Like you're saying, I've seen a couple people play it on streams, like on Twitch and on YouTube, and watching the gameplay. I'm like, wow, this looks beautiful. It looks gorgeous. It looks fun. I do plan on playing it. And so I was like, ooh, this might take over, whatever game I'm going to play next for my story-based game. And so, but this probably be the only Resident Evil, just because I don't really care about the other ones. But yeah.
Do you think if you enjoy this, like if you play this and you end up loving it, would you go back to 2 and 3 remakes?
Which one was 2? I can't remember which one was
2 is the one where they actually introduced Leon. 2 was Leon's first game. It was Leon and then Claire, I believe. Claire Redfield.
That's right.
Chris's sister.
Yeah, you're right. I would probably...
I hate Resident Evil.
So I'll say this. If I do enjoy Resident Evil 4, I would actually think about going back to 3.
You go back to 3, okay.
Just because I vividly still remember playing Resident Evil 3 on PlayStation and being scared of Nemesis, and like just hearing stars just like randomly through the game, and hearing it on the screen, it would scare the hell out of me. But yeah, I would say that, I'd probably give it a shot, give 3 a shot. But a part of me kind of feels like, do I want to invest in this like story franchise that I don't really know what the hell's going on? And so
let's be real, nobody knows what the hell's going on. Umbrella Company does bad thing, turns zombies, and then did some weird shit happens. It gets weirder and weirder as you go along.
Exactly. And so it's like, I don't know, if it's a good game, I'll play it. And so if I do enjoy this, I think I would give 3 a shot, and like do the remake and play through that, just because I remember playing the original.
Well, I will tell you this. 3 out of the 3 remakes, 3 is the lowest rated one.
Oh.
2 is like 2 Resident Evil 2 remake has not quite as good reviews as 4, but it is up there like in its score. Let me just compare it to OpenCritics. It's the easiest way to do that. So like Resident Evil 2 has a 92, and Resident Evil 4 also has a 92. So I guess they're on par. Resident Evil 3 though, Resident Evil 3. Maybe I'm what? That's not what I typed. Here you go. Resident Evil 3 has a 79. So there's a drastic quality change.
Jeez.
Like across the board from 2 and 4 to 3. So you might want to go back to 2 instead of, you might want to play 2. Get Leon's introduction. Though I will say, like, it kind of explains why he becomes an emo boy in Resident Evil 4.
Oh, really?
Resident Evil 2, yeah. He was an emo boy in Resident Evil 2. From what I remember when I played it like 2 years ago, I want to say, when I played Resident Evil 2 Remake. I never beat it. I was playing it for my stream, and then I got like to the end, and I was like, I don't enjoy this. I don't want to play this anymore. But people were like, no, dude, you're at the end. Just finish. I was like, no, I'm done. I was like a chapter away from the final boss. That's
hilarious.
Dude. I can't remember the dude's name, but I was like, I'd gone through the complex in here. Anyways, they do a nice little recap of Resident Evil 4 where Leon is going, 2 years ago, or how many years, I can't remember how many years he says, but I was a cop, and then I got recruited. I was a cop in Raccoon City, and I got recruited to a government team after the Raccoon City crisis, or whatever the fuck they say.
Gotcha.
I need to stop cussing. I'm sorry. But yeah, they have I shouldn't say it's a nice recap. It's just a
quick little
recap of explaining how
this is how I got
Leon
here.
got to where he is right now. And it's like, so you went from being a cop to a top secret agent? Okay, cool.
Interesting.
That's big. That was like a huge leap. But I guess that makes sense in the grand scheme of things. He did just stop a zombie outbreak in Raccoon City, so I guess it works. Anyways.
So funny. Wow.
Resident Evil, man. Resident Evil is the story of Resident Evil is the way I feel about the story for Metal Gear Solid. I have no idea what's happening.
I think it's the same way where nobody knows what's going on. It's just like, it's cool at moments, and it's just constantly like, what is this? What does this mean? And so, but definitely good comparison.
I definitely think like Resident Evil, the strength of Resident Evil is like Leon Kennedy is just cool. He's just a badass.
Exactly. He's a cool guy.
Same with Chris Redfield and Jill and Claire. I think those are all the characters you play as. Do you play as another character? What's their Resident Evil 5's character that you play as? And then there's another character that gets introduced in 6, I believe.
Shiva? I think Shiva. Yeah. Shiva's the one in 6, I think.
Resident Evil. Anyways, it's not important. Resident Evil 4 Remake, it's a goddamn good game. Go play it. Will we talk about it again? Maybe. I don't know. I'll check in with you next week or 2 weeks from now and be like, hey, did you get Resident Evil yet?
I'll be like, actually, I'm a big fan now.
Let me tell you, we're going to have you give us a breakdown of the story.
Oh, yeah. Like, so this happened and this happened.
There'll be an entire podcast. There's like entire movies and stuff, too, that apparently are all canon and tie into things and stuff, too.
What?
Really? Do you remember Ron sat us down and made us watch some Resident Evil movie with him, like, because it like had come out?
Yeah.
He was like, you guys gotta watch this with me. And so we were like, sure. Because it was like a Friday night. We had nothing planned. So we just sat at the door and watched it. And we were both like, cool. He was so excited about it too. We were just like, this is cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the fight scene was cool, I guess.
The fights were cool. Yeah.
The fight scenes were cool.
If I remember correctly, wasn't it Leon versus Redfield? Chris? Wasn't it? Wasn't that
I don't remember what it was about. I just remember there was a big fight scene and like the floor was moving.
Yeah, the building was like breaking down or something. I can't remember what it is.
Yeah,
so funny.
But yeah, it was Leon. It was in it, but yeah. Anyways, moving on to some happy news. I mean, Resident Evil. The news for Resident Evil was happy too. But it's I don't know if you've been following. It's been GDC, the Game Developer Conference this week. It's been going on all week. So there's been a bunch of like indie games being shown off. There's been a bunch of like new tech being shown off at the Game Developer Conference. And on, I want to say it was Wednesday night, they did their Game Developer Choice Award winners. And so I'm going to give you a quick breakdown of that, everybody. Unsurprising, the big winners were God of War and Elden Ring, of course. But there were some few surprises in there. So the winners for the 2023 Game Developer Choice Awards were for Best Debut, Stray. Now I can't escape that fucking cat. Best visual art goes to Elden Ring. Best audio goes to God of War Ragnarok. Best narrative, Pentiment. A surprise here. Pentiment is also an Obsidian game, Al. You need to play it.
Oh,
it's like that medieval painting-esque stuff that was on PC and Xbox and all that. You should play it. It's actually a really good story. It's a murder mystery essentially.
Gotcha.
Excellent. It is an excellent writing game. It has excellent writing, I should say. Social Impact Award went to Citizen Sleeper, which I need to finish one day. I've played it. I've started it. I want to finish it eventually. It's basically a visual novel.
Okay.
Innovation Award goes to Immortality. Woot woot! Immortality.
Nice.
Best Technology, God of War Ragnarok. Best Design, Elden Ring. Audience Award, God of War Ragnarok. Game of the Year, Elden Ring. Pioneer Award went to Mabel Addis. And then Lifetime Achievement Award went to John Romero, who was the creator of Doom and all that stuff. So, and
nice.
co-founder of ID Software. So plenty of winners there. Then they also had the 2023 Independent Game Award Festival as well. I am not familiar with most of these games, but we can go through it. Best Student Game went to Slider. Excellence in Design went to The Case of the Golden Idol. Excellence in Visual Art went to RPG Time, The Legend of Wright. Excellence in Audio went to The Forest Quartet. The Nuovo Award went to Betrayal at Club Low. Excellent in Narrative went to Immortality. Woo! Nice. The only one I know from this list. The Audience Award went to Potionomics. And then the CMAS McNally Grand Prize went to Betrayal at Club Low. So congratulations to all the winners of these games. I'm sure they're all excellent. Except Stray. Stray fucking sucks. Nobody plays Stray. I'm going to stand by that statement. Stray is the worst game ever made. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Hilarious.
It is not the worst game ever made. Just not for me. I just want to make people mad. But congratulations to all those winners. Have you been keeping up with the Game Developer Conference stuff, Elle?
No, I actually didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, it's been going on all week. There's been some really cool like indie games getting shown off. I debated about like including them, but if we included like everything that was being announced at GDC and like and sat down and watched trailers, this would turn into like a 2-3 hour podcast. Oh, wow. Because there was a lot of cool stuff being shown off. So I highly suggest checking some stuff out. So yeah, I highly suggest anybody listening to this go check out some of the games that were announced. But I wanted to at least highlight the award winners because always fun to talk about the award winners. I'm not surprised that Elden Ring and God of War Ragnarok pretty much took everything. It's not surprising. Yeah. I'm happy. I'm really happy for Pentiment because I feel like Pentiment in a lot of places was kind of ignored. Even with like us, when we I had debated about putting it on my Game of the Year, but I didn't because the main reason I didn't put Pentiment was because I didn't finish it. I'm going to go back to it eventually, but like what I played probably like 75% of the game at that point. It's been a while, so I can't really tell you, but like the writing was excellent. It was incredible writing. So I do want to go back to Pentiment and play it. From what I played, it was excellent murder mystery type stuff going on. But yeah, I'm extremely happy. As you know, I'm a huge fan of Immortality, so I'm happy to see Immortality get awards because I'm always happy for that. I love Immortality, and I'm glad other people love it too. I know you hated it, you son of a bitch.
I didn't hate it. I just didn't love it, but I had a good time with it. I just just didn't super grab me.
Yeah, understandable. Moving on to another kind of release window. We got a release window for Counter-Strike 2. Wow. This is from an article over in IGN, and this is just a quote from it. An exact release date has yet to be announced, but it's been given a summer 2023 release window and will run on Source Engine 2. It will be a free upgrade to CSGO. It's also available in limited testing to some CSGO players starting today at the time of this article, and the article is from Wednesday. So, Elle, are you excited about a Counter-Strike 2?
Why not? I mean, this is actually funny enough. I'll say this is actually one of the first games I ever saw someone play on PC. Yeah. Like actual games besides like, your standard desktop games that'll come with like certain Windows PCs. This was like the first one that I ever saw when I first really got into like the esports side of thing where like there was actually teams and stuff like that for CSGO. And I always thought it was so interesting to me that this game just like stuck with people and it had a hold on people for so long, even to this day, like so many people still play it. And it just, goes to show you how much people love this game. And so what I find interesting is that for the longest time, I was just like, well, that game's just always going to exist. CSGO. They don't need to make another one. But then here they are announcing that they're making a 2. And I'm pretty sure it's going to, maybe include new maps, upgrade graphics and everything like that. But it's really cool. And so I'm excited. Because I remember this was like one of the first ones that I saw before I saw like Call of Duty and stuff like that. And I always thought it was cool, but I just could never play it at the time because I think I didn't have like really good internet or anything like that. But
when you say you saw it, was it because of high school?
It was because of high school, yeah. Because sometimes people in high school would install it on the PCs, like in the computer rooms, and would just go and play it. Yeah,
that's what I was gonna bring up. I was like, Counter-Strike. Like, I never played Counter-Strike really, but I did play it at school in high school because people would bring it and they would install it on PCs, and like no matter, like, because we would play it for like class, and then they would wipe the computers or whatever, not wipe them, but they would uninstall it from computers. And then we would just reinstall it back onto the computers and stuff. And like, I remember, I want to say I was in like 9th or 10th grade. We had it on the computers and like one computer class, and then the computer class next door to us, they had it on their computers, and we basically had a LAN party where it was us versus, it was one classroom versus that classroom. And it was just like, we never did any work. We just played that. There was other games that we would play too. But I was about to say Elden Ring. I don't know why. Counter-Strike was one of those games that we would play. And there was like, I never played Counter-Strike outside of that. I have like watched people play Counter-Strike. I'm like, I think Counter-Strike is cool. It obviously has a heavy influence for Valorant. Valorant takes a lot of the qualities of Counter-Strike into the game and then adds their own little flair to it. So I'm looking forward to Counter-Strike 2. I'm interested in seeing like what changes they're going to make. I'm interested in seeing how much bigger it can be, because even today, like CSGO is still one of the most played games on Steam. It is it's like one of the top like 10 games always being played. People are always playing it. People just love this game. And so I'm interested in seeing like how that's going to change, because it's going to be a free upgrade, it says. So like, there's no reason not to make the jump. Like if you own CSGO, like if you play CSGO, all your stuff is going to carry over to Counter-Strike 2. So it's like, you're not losing anything. Exactly. Sort of like Overwatch did that, right? From Overwatch 1 to Overwatch 2. So so like, you don't really have any incentive not to. I would be interested in see if like Valve will shutter CSGO, you know what I mean? Like sort of like what Blizzard did with Overwatch. Like once they made the change to Overwatch 2, they closed everything down on Overwatch, so you had to play Overwatch 2. I wonder if they would do that with Counter-Strike, since it is a free upgrade and all that. There's not, you know what I mean? So I'm interested in seeing that. Obviously, we won't really know too much. There's the beta going on. I haven't seen it. I don't know anybody personally that's in the limited testing stuff right now. So I can't really speak on it, but I'm looking forward to seeing what it will be like when it comes out. Summer 2023. That's what, June, July, August. So August, September maybe. So there's 3-4-ish month period where we'll see it. So it's going to be here soon enough, and I'm very interested in seeing how it's gonna be received by the CS:GO community as a whole, and like what changes they're implementing and stuff. I would be interested in playing it too. I probably like that's the thing with like Counter-Strike and Valorant. I'm so fucking intimidated by jumping in, because like I see people play it. I like you. I've seen like the esports stuff, and I'm like, they make it look easy, but like I know it's not. You know what I mean?
No, definitely.
I'm like scared.
It makes me feel the same way that I felt when I was playing Overwatch. And I remember the first time that I ever played DPS. People like got upset, and I was like, what is happening? Like they took it so serious, like in like regular like matches. I was like, I'm just going to go be support. I'm just going to be over here and just like heal people and just stay there, because it's so much pressure. And like a lot of people just who play CSGO professionally, or just, who are avid players, they just make it look easy of just like popping in and out, shooting, killing people.
Those instant headshots like around corners and stuff. It's like, what? Yeah. How do you do this?
Exactly. So, but good for them, man. I'm excited to see how the community takes it, and hopefully they're just like, wow, this is even better. So.
Oh yeah, I'm excited too. You know what else I'm excited about, El?
What's that?
I'm excited about this this beautiful little tool that Epic Games has released in Fortnite. So, in an effort to continue to support Fortnite and get creators into Fortnite, Epic Games announced at GDC earlier this week. I'm going to just read from the blog post. This is a blog post from the Epic Games site. I'm going to just read this opening thing and then read the stuff about the Unreal Editor. During today's State of the Unreal keynote at the annual Game Developers Conference in San Francisco, we revealed Epic's long-term vision for the future of content creation, distribution, and monetization, including how we're laying the foundations for a connected, open ecosystem and economy that will enable all creators and developers to benefit in the metaverse.
Wow.
Do you like the word metaverse? I still hate it. Like, I'm still not on board with this word metaverse.
it looks like a word that's trying to be cool, but it's not like just naturally cool. But yeah.
But let's talk about one of the things that they're releasing. It is the Unreal Editor for Fortnite. What if creators and developers had more powerful tools and greater creative flexibility to reach Fortnite's huge audience of more than 5 million player accounts? That becomes possible with the Unreal Editor for Fortnite. The UEFN launched in public beta. UEFN is a version of Unreal Editor that can create and publish experiences directly to Fortnite. I want to talk about this because I think this is incredibly awesome.
Yeah, this is crazy.
I think this is incredibly awesome. Not just for for already developers of games, but introducing this to kids. I guess what I'm trying to say, like giving the kids this ability to use this Unreal Editor in Fortnite at a place where they're already at.
Yeah.
For kids who are interested in game development but don't necessarily know how to access other engines and stuff outside of Fortnite, this gives them the opportunity to create within Fortnite. They already had stuff where kids could create in Fortnite, but now this really kind of pushes this introduction to game development to a young audience. Because that's Fortnite is a hub for a lot of kids, teenagers. I should probably say teenagers more than kids, but like if this would have been a thing when I was in high school, when I was like deep in my Duffy of playing Halo and all that, I'm pretty sure I probably would have been in Fortnite. And if I would have had this when I was in high school, because like I've always been interested in game development and stuff. If I would have had this when I was in high school, I would be like, fuck yeah, let's dive into this and try to learn. Because like I didn't know what the fuck I was doing back then. I didn't know how to access game development tools or anything like that. Yeah, I played around in like map creators for Unreal Tournament and stuff like that, but like taking Fortnite and using it as a tool for not just for developers to create stuff, but for an opportunity to let teenagers, kids who love Fortnite kind of find a love for game development through that. I think that's an incredibly awesome thing. Did I just make sense? I hope I just made sense.
No, yeah, that makes perfect sense. It's basically giving access to programs that maybe kids wouldn't know how to get a hold of or how to get into had they not, been able to like look it up or even know what to look at in order to find that stuff. And so this is crazy because I've seen, it's funny because I forgot all about this, but I did see some of this pop up like on my TikTok of what Fortnite is becoming and like everything that's happening with it, with this like in this article here, it has that dragon and it's like this game is transforming. And so before our eyes, and it's so crazy. But with this tool, I think that it's amazing because it's basically opening up a door for those who are interested in it, and they want to be, maybe they're interested in getting into game development and creating. And so I think this will be great because what's probably going to happen is, because Fortnite's, like you said, one of the most popular games being played right now, it's like we're going to probably see a surgence maybe in kids who wanting to, learn how to do that and go create games of their own and, be developers themselves. Yeah.
And so let's dive in a little bit more. I'm going to read from another blog post, and this is specifically about UEFN, the Unreal Editor for Fortnite. So the article is basically, what is UEFN? Unreal Editor for Fortnite is a new way to design, develop, and publish content onto Fortnite that takes advantage of the Unreal Editor's development workflows and proven PC-based toolset. Over time, UEFN will evolve to feature most of the same tools available in Unreal Engine 5 and beyond that enable the publication and distribution of experiences on a massive scale. UEFN works side by side and is additive to Fortnite's existing creative toolset. Launched in 2018, Fortnite Creative is a sandbox editing mode in Fortnite that enables creators to level edit, modify the environment and game mechanics, and publish in-game playable islands. Islands are playable game experiences that, once published, are accessible to all Fortnite players. Creator-built islands, games, and experiences are incredibly popular. More than 1 million player-built islands have been published by their creators, and more than 40% of player game time in Fortnite is spent in creator-built content. With Fortnite player counts currently over 500 millions of players are searching for, playing, and coming back for new content beyond Battle Royale every day.
Wow.
This is this is just incredible to think about, because like the Battle Royale is like the face, that's the one that everybody knows about. It's like, but yeah, they have 40% of their players are spending more time on creator built content than the Battle Royale, which is an interesting thing to think about, because like I'm just used to seeing the Battle Royale stuff. I'm not used to the island aspects, the custom creation tools and stuff. And like they already had created tools, but now they're introducing the Unreal Engine, which the Unreal Engine is the most popular, or one of the most popular gaming engines used to create games. So again, this goes back to like these folks that are building this stuff in Fortnite now have the opportunity to learn the Unreal Engine when they may not have had that opportunity to before. You know what I mean? And so again, I just love this idea. And I really, and like, for better or worse, like no matter what you say about Epic Games, like Epic Games really is trying to make game development easier for everybody, and is trying to get as many people as they can into game development, because making games is freaking awesome. And I think Epic Games knows that, and it's doing everything it can to get people into this. And so, yeah, I'm just so gosh darn excited about this. Like just to seeing the possibilities, thinking about the possibilities. They showed off like some islands. There's a trailer and stuff they showed off. Let me see if this is the one, and I can switch over to it real quick. Boom. Yeah, this is me switch real quick. Boom. So like this is this is just a simple little thing to showing you like what you can do in the game, making it almost Call of Duty-esque level here. Wow. You're in Egypt now. You have this big ass mech here, dude. You have this really like cartoony thing there, space, like this is like just incredible, like what you can do within Fortnite. Like this is Fortnite. Like how is this Fortnite? Wild. You know what I mean? Like how is this Fortnite? Like I don't understand. You know what crazy. I mean? Yeah. Like Jesus, it's so freaking cool. But yeah, so I just wanted to talk about that because I think that was a really cool thing that Epic Games is doing, and just I'm so excited to see like what people are going to create in Fortnite.
Oh yeah. It's gonna be crazy, man, because who knows what, if you would have told me whenever Fortnite came out at the beginning that this game was gonna just transform like it is right now before our eyes, I'd be like, you're crazy. Like yeah. It's wild that it's doing that, because like I said, it's come such a long way to now turning into, going from this game that was initially a zombie game where you were trying to survive into hordes of zombies, and then into a King of the Hill battle royale, into now allowing players to create their own things and get into game development. This is crazy. It's wild. Yeah,
it is wild. And it makes me want to play Fortnite. It makes me want to get into Fortnite.
I know, right?
Like, should we get into Fortnite and create our own island? Have the Respawn Please Island. I don't know how to create things though, so
I don't either. So it
probably starting from ground level 1.
I know.
But anyways, sorry. Do you have any other final thoughts about the UNFN? Sorry, the UEFN. I'm sorry.
It's what's going to be interesting, and we probably won't see this until, really, to be honest, the way things are going, maybe another 5 to 10 years or even further. I wonder who's going to be like the next developer or the next like creator that's like, I got my start in the Fortnite thing.
Yeah.
And like they create this amazing game, you know, the next Elden Ring or God of War or whatever have it. That's like, I got my start because of this. And you're like, whoa, this is like crazy, you know?
Yeah.
But anyway, but it's amazing.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure we're gonna see it soon. Like, you know, I mean, you say 5-10 years. Wouldn't be surprised if like within the next 2-3 years, you know, the next year, 2 years,
I could see that.
There's like somebody, you know, just comes out and is like, dude, I created this in Fortnite, but it's amazing. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it happens within the next year. Like,
yeah,
just someone going in there really using the tools to really manipulate things and everything. Like, I think that's just cool. The final thing I want to talk about here, and this goes back to what I think is really awesome. Again, Epic Games supporting game development, Creator Economy 2.0. Developers that publish islands can also benefit from the success of Fortnite. Announced at GDC, Creator Economy 2.0. God, I can't read. Creator Economy 2.0 includes engagement payouts, a new way for eligible island creators to receive money based on engagement with their published island content. Engagement payouts proportionally distribute 40% of the net revenue from Fortnite's item shop and most real money Fortnite purchases to the creators of eligible islands and experiences, both islands from independent creators and Epic's own, such as Battle Royale. So they are also making it so you can make money for if you make a very popular island that players flock to, that you will get some money, you will get some kind of benefit money from it. You know, you're going to get support. And again, this goes back to Epic Games really trying to support game development. This is just another way I think that highlights the fact with Epic Games that they're trying to support game development because they know how hard it is. And I think this is just another cool thing. Like, make this island and suddenly it blows up, and next thing you know, you're making a little bit of money off of it. It's like, that would be like, again, an amazing thing to happen. You know, it's like, it's just wild. Like, it's, again, just the barriers of game development, I'm not going to say are breaking down, but it's making it easier to get into game development. I think game development obviously still hard as hell, still time consuming as all hell and everything, but now there are avenues to learn, to grow, and to meet other creators, you know, and connect in that way, not just be a solitary person making maps for Unreal Tournament like I was back in the day, back in 2004, 2005. But this is a way to really connect with other creators and stuff. And I think that's another thing that we're kind of overlooking here is that we haven't even talked about, is that idea that this potentially connects creators in many ways, because you're able to connect and edit these islands together. And I think that's awesome. So you can form a team around this. Maybe you never meet them in real life, but man, online relationships can be just as powerful and meaningful as in-person relationships. And same with this creation of online islands and stuff. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Oh yeah. It's going to be crazy. I'm so fascinated with this. Do you think in like 10, 20 years, Fortnite is still going to be around? Oh man. You know, because hold on, let me look. Do you know exactly when Fortnite came out? Let me see. Fortnite came out in, I want to say it was like 2018, 2019. Let's see. Fortnite came out 2017. 2017. Okay, I was a year off. So it's been here for 5 years. Mm-hmm. And no, I'm sorry. No, 6 years. 6 years. And so, or it'll be 6 years in July. Anyway, in 10 years, to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if it was. I haven't seen anything that would dethrone it yet, to my knowledge. Man, it's because it's so accessible. You can literally play it anywhere, on your phone, on a tablet, PC, whatever system it's available. So because of the accessibility, I think that even if other systems or whatever, I'm pretty sure pretty soon, I think they already have you'll play it on a TV, and like that Xbox thing. Yeah, you can through Xbox Game Pass, through the cloud, you can play it. Like I could go over to my Samsung TV, I can go over there right now, start up Xbox Game Pass and play Fortnite through that. So through the cloud. And so, man, like it's crazy. And then plus they still keep doing all these collaborations with certain animes or just like
what is it called? Like through Star Wars and just a bunch of different things. And so to be honest, I think it'll be here for another 10 to 20 years. If I'm being honest, if it keeps going the way that it's going, unless something crazy happens and next thing you know, it gets canceled or just whatever happens. But if all goes well, I think that it'll be here for a very long time.
A new game's going to come out tomorrow called Night Fort. And it's going to be the new popular game. People are going to love it.
Oh, Night Fort. Have you played this new amazing game? It's taking the world by storm.
It's called Night Fort, man. You mean Fortnite? No, Night Fort. It's like Fortnite, but not Fortnite.
But better.
Yeah. I think like at most that we're probably going to see with Fortnite is sort of like talking about Counter-Strike. How Counter-Strike grew from just Counter-Strike, went from Counter-Strike Source to Counter-Strike. Well, it was Counter-Strike something, Counter-Strike Source, then Counter-Strike Go. Yeah. And now it's going to be Counter-Strike 2, just like the evolution of Counter-Strike. I think at most we'll probably see something like that where it'll become like Fortnite 2.0 or something like that.
I could see that. Yeah.
Where it's more or less like just updating like the graphics and, you know, changing things just a little bit. Though, I mean, Fortnite still like looks really good too. So like, I don't know how much more you could upgrade it. I don't know. But yeah. So I think at most that's probably what we would see. I think Fortnite's here to stay, similar to Counter-Strike, similar to Minecraft. Minecraft is still here, you know.
Oof, so yeah.
So yeah, I imagine Fortnite's going to be one of those staples of gaming that stays forever. Like
forever, definitely.
Because I mean, again, even like World of Warcraft's still around. Like World of Warcraft updates.
Very true.
So it's like I think these are very popular games that started off fairly niche in a way that have grown beyond what they initially were at launch. You know what I mean? Going from Counter-Strike, from Minecraft, from WoW, from Fortnite now, they've changed, they've innovated, and they've kind of become the standard within their fields almost.
Yeah.
Maybe less so Minecraft. I don't know. I'm not too familiar with what Minecraft is influenced these days, but like Fortnite and WoW especially though, kind of set the standards for WoW, set the standard for MMOs. Fortnite set the standard for battle royales. Yeah. And it's just wild to think where they started at and where they're at now. And
very true.
I'm always so amazed by like direction of video games and how they changed. And it's just video games are cool, man. Video games are fucking cool. Let's just say it. Like video games are the coolest.
Oh yeah.
And you know what game that I love that I've been playing that I'm enjoying so gosh darn much, and I cannot wait to June for the full release, and that is Diablo 4. So Diablo 4 right now is in its open beta. I played the early access beta last weekend. I played a little bit of the beta today. I'm having a great freaking time with Diablo 4. I am like with how I was this past weekend, last weekend, where I was just like, that's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to play Diablo. I was like, this is my weekend. I'm just going to play Diablo. I tried playing World of Warcraft. I tried playing some other stuff and I was like, nope, that itch to play Diablo was just in me and just played Diablo. And then like all week I was just thinking, God, man, I can't wait to play Diablo again this weekend. So I foresee like when June rolls around, I'm going to lose so many hours to Diablo.
Hilarious.
But Diablo 4 is really fun. The early access right now, or the beta right now, I should say. You play up to level 25. You can play through the prologue in Act 1. So there's actually a lot of content that you can experience that surprised me. But it's so much dang fun. I've been playing on hardcore. So like my characters, when they die, they die. And so I've been adjusting to that. I lost a barbarian. I lost 2 rogues. And then I finally found my groove with the sorcerer and plowed through everything. And then I started playing the Necromancer today, and the Necromancer is OP as all hell. Just summon some skeletons. I said it earlier. Summon some skeletons, and they'll fight for you. You can just sit back and watch as they just destroy everything. So yeah, I love Diablo. Nice. And so I want to ask you: do you have any questions about Diablo 4? Are you interested in playing Diablo 4, the beta, or anything?
Yeah, I was actually. I am interested in playing it because I know we talked about it off stream about. Potentially when it fully releases, playing it, maybe for some Wednesday gameplays. Diablo played if let me know if this is correct. Cause I think I'm kind of correct. Diablo plays in the same way, not like a 1-to-1, but it's kind of like a WoW where you're kind of like this angled not top down, but I don't know what that angle is called. It's like
isometric.
Yeah, isometric angle, and you're kind of like going through and fighting monsters and bosses and stuff like that. Is it in the way that WoW is, where other people are like in this world as well, or is it kind of only with you or whoever you invite?
So Diablo 4 is you have shared worlds.
Okay.
They call it shared worlds. They're not calling it an MMO, but it feels like an MMO. When you're in town, you'll see a bunch of other players.
Okay.
When you're out in the open world area, you have the potential of running across them. So the way I believe it works right now is that in the towns, you have a limited number of people that you can encounter in the towns, and you can have a limited number of people that you can encounter outside of the town. And I believe it's 12. I want to say it's 12 in the open world. You can only encounter up to 12 players. And that, but like just looking at the map of Diablo is that the world is so big that you may probably won't even run into them. You know what I mean? Like, because of how big the world is or how it looks, even with just the limited area that the beta lets you play in. Last weekend, I maybe ran across, I want to say like 5 or 6 people during my whole time playing throughout the weekend. I ran across 5 or 6 people in the open world. I'm probably being a little bit too conservative with that number. It was probably more of upwards of like 10 to 15, but it certainly didn't feel like I was always running into people.
Gotcha.
And usually it was the only time I was running into people is when because on the world map, it'll when you're running around in the world on the little mini map, it'll tell you, oh, there's a world event over here, go over here. And so you run over there and the world event is happening. And that's where you will see the people congregate to, so they can all complete together. And then everybody just runs off in different directions after it's completed. I want to say it's almost like Destiny when you're in the open world. If you've played Destiny at all. You'll run across people occasionally, but not for the most part. And usually it's for the world events that are taking place. Dungeons. The dungeons are instance for each person. So our group. So when you go into a dungeon, it's only going to be you and then members of your group. You'll never run into randoms or anything like that.
Gotcha.
So it's only going to be you and the people that you group with in dungeons. So
nice.
So it's not quite an MMO. It's more like Destiny. Destiny's not considered an MMO, I guess. Well, no, Destiny's considered an MMO shooter these days, but it's not quite like to the level of World of Warcraft. So yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. That makes sense. I was just going to ask, is when purchasing Diablo 4, as soon as you buy it, that's it. It's not any well, I'm pretty sure they'll have expansions, but is it kind of like where WoW is a subscription? And would Diablo be a subscription?
No, there's no subscriptions or anything. They are going to have a battle pass, similar to like Overwatch and stuff like that. So they are going to have a battle pass. And if you pre-order now, I'm going to double check this right now. I'm going to pull it up. It might just be the version that I got. I think if you buy the deluxe version and then the I can't remember the expensive version that I got. I got the super expensive version. Let me look at the shop real quick. 1 second. I got the super expensive one that was like $120, $130, something like that. Bro, I'm deep into it, baby. I'm into it, baby.
Hilarious.
It was only $100 for the ultimate edition. It wasn't that much. So yeah, if you get the digital deluxe or the ultimate edition, you get the season battle pass. If you just buy the standard version, you'll have to get the battle pass separately.
Okay.
So, but they will have a battle pass, but that's the only thing you'll be paying for. And I'm going to assume it's probably going to be priced similar to Overwatch, where it's like what, $15, $20 or something like that. So
yeah,
for the duration of that season.
So
yeah.
Let me ask you this then. So another question I have for Diablo: does Diablo have a story, and then once you beat that story, is that it? You're done, or is it something kind of like WoW that just kind of continues? It
has a story, and once you complete the story, after that, it's just dungeon raiding and trying to get better loot. So gotcha. It has a story, and then the post game is similar to WoW, where you just go complete dungeons, complete raids to try to get better loot and all that. So
gotcha. Okay.
But there is a story to follow. This one is about Lilith, the daughter of I can't remember who she's the daughter of, but she's the daughter of somebody, and she's like the one who created Sanctuary, which is the place that all of this stuff is. And she's like she's the I can't remember the whole story. Like she has a deep there's a deep lore to Diablo that we have to go all the way back to Diablo 1 for me to try to even explain anything remotely. I do think this is like a sort of a reset for Diablo. I feel like this is a reset to Diablo, whereas Diablo 1, 2, and 3, their stories kind of felt like they were extensions of each other. I feel like Diablo 4 is almost not a reset in the lore or anything, because it is taking place after Diablo 3, but it doesn't feel like it's continuing the Diablo 3 story. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, so
yeah.
Diablo 1, 2, and 3, they all felt like they were building on top of each other. Diablo 1, Diablo's defeated. He gets put into like this Mind Stone thing. Diablo 2, he gets released from the Mind Stone thing, and you have to re-put him back in there. And then Diablo 3, there's a whole cult thing that's trying to release him and all this stuff. And then he gets released again. He just keeps getting released. Whereas this one, this does feel like this is a new starting point that I think you don't need to play the other games to know what the story's about, because this one feels like they're focusing on Lilith. I could be completely wrong. The game is called Diablo after all, so maybe they will bring. So I'm assuming that Diablo is going to come back in some way, because again, this game is called Diablo. It would be weird if you had a character, if you didn't have the titular character of Diablo in the game. You know what I mean? But for the most part, it seems like they're focusing on the story of Lilith, the mother of hatred. That's what her little monkier. How do you pronounce that word? But yeah, she seems awesome. Like the introduction, the opening cinematic for her was incredible. Just looked awesome. Just some awesome imagery. The thing with Diablo 4 is that it's also going back to sort of the horror-y aspects. So Diablo 3, they kind of like went away from horror and kind of made it more bright. It was still kind of, they were trying to make it, they were moving away from the gothic aesthetic that Diablo 1 and 2 had. They were moving away from that, and they're going back to that in Diablo 4, where it feels more gothic, it feels more horror-y. I don't think Diablo was ever scary, and so I don't think horror is the right word, because I don't think it's all horror, but they're going back to this aesthetic that they had in Diablo 1 and 2, whereas Diablo 3 felt like it was trying to be more WoW in terms of in terms of its color palette and like the way the characters looked and stuff like that, if that makes sense. So yeah. Oh man, God, I love Diablo, so I could talk about this all day, but I will rein myself in. What other questions do you have, or have I answered everything for you?
No, I think you answered everything, because that was actually, you answered one of the questions. I was like, why is this game called Diablo? Is it the devil? No. And it's funny because I actually Googled as to why is Diablo called Diablo, and it gave me two answers. One, it gave me the demon, Diablo, but then it told me that the game is called Diablo because the creator lived near a mountain called Diablo, and he wanted to make a game called Diablo. So it's so cool.
Yeah. But the story is fun. Like when you dive deep into it, there is a story to follow, and it does make sense once you dive into it. It's just hard for me to explain without sounding like a crazy person.
So, no, makes sense. That makes sense.
So, but yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm incredibly excited for it. I'm going to lose so many hours to it.
So funny.
I can already tell you, like, just based off of my experience with this, unless like after, the game gets released and it's like, oh yeah, this game takes a nosedive after Act 1. But like based on just my experience with playing through the prologue and Act 1 and just running around in this world, I easily see this game being like top 5, possibly my number 1 game of the year. Depending, like, obviously there's tons of other games coming out, I'm gonna keep playing Resident Evil. Maybe that will click with me. Star Wars Jedi Survivor comes out in April, so it's like, or is it May? One of the two. But yeah, like plenty of games are still coming, but I see Diablo being very high on my list for game of the year. Like,
nice.
It's really freaking good. And I think it is a good jumping in point. Granted, I think Diablo 3 was a good jumping in point too, but I especially feel Diablo 4, the quality of life updates and like the modernization of a lot of the aspects for it, I think is going to appeal to a lot of people.
Okay.
And
Nice.
yeah, it's just a fun ass freaking game. And it's open beta right now, so you have nothing to lose. Granted, those podcast listeners, open beta has ended.
Oh yeah, by the time this comes out for the recorded version. Sorry guys.
So take my thoughts. I'll talk about it again next week. But
nice. Yeah, I plan on trying it out this weekend. I'll probably play like a little bit here tomorrow, or just seeing how I like it, see if I vibe with it, because I've never played a Diablo game. So
well, hit me up and we can play together. We can run through the world together.
Nice.
I do play on hardcore, and I believe you have to be hardcore to play with me. So
what?
you're gonna have to create a character that you're okay with dying.
Oh my gosh!
My biggest suggestion: don't play barbarian. Barbarian sucks. I do not like the barbarian. Do not like the barbarian at all.
Hilarious.
But yeah. And if you play, you get a puppy. Here, hold on. Let me see if I can find the puppy for you real quick, so I can show it to you. It's adorable as all hell. Let's see if I can show it to you. It's adorable as all hell. Let me scroll down real quick. Where are you at? There it is. There it is. All right, you see it? Little puppy right there, little backpack.
Wow. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, look at where'd it go? There it
zoomed in.
Yeah. Look at that cutie pie. Look at him, he's so cute.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it's just the funny thing is that you'll barely be able to see it. Because the way the camera is, you're barely going to be able to see it. But the idea of having it is awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have to get to level 20 to get to that and all of that. But yeah. Anyways, wind us down, Ell.
Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to the Respawn Please podcast. You can always catch the live version of the podcast every Friday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. Or you can always catch the video version of the podcast that drops usually on Mondays, as well as the audio version. Video version is available on our YouTube here if you're watching it, or if you're listening, it's on YouTube. Just type in Respawn Please podcast. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell icon to get notified when we drop more videos. If you're watching and you want to listen to Respawn Please podcast on the go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, everywhere you can get podcasts, and just type in Respawn Please podcast. It's right there. Make sure to follow the podcast on social media, on Instagram and TikTok at Respawn Please podcast, on Twitter at Respawn_please, and make sure to visit respawnplease.com for reviews, podcast stuff, videos, and everything and more.
And before we go off the air, there's one more game thing that I forgot to talk about. We don't have to talk about it for an extensive period of time or anything, but announced this week, a gritty new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game has been announced, and it's going to take after God of War, and it's based on the Ronin storyline in TMT, which apparently is one of the best storylines. I was like, I'm excited for this. Not a big TMNT fan, but I like the idea of a God of War Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle-esque styled game. Just wanted to talk about that real quick. Wanted to throw that out there. It sounded cool to me. I look forward to playing it. It looks super cool. I like, because that's more of a gritty take on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's based off the last Ronin storyline, where basically kind of spoilers. Where not really, but basically the storyline is that of all the turtles, only one is left, and trying to get revenge on Shredder's grandson, if I remember correctly. Butcher's grandson.
Yeah, and so it's a very gritty take on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but I'm excited for that game, because as soon as I said that they said it was gonna be like that and take after God of War, I was like, I'm in. I'm all for that. I'm all for that.
Yeah. So I forgot to include that in the doc, but I wanted to throw that out there real quick. And anyways, we are going to wind this down. On Friday next week, we are releasing Your Lie in April in the Review Please Anime Edition. We're reviewing Your Lie in April, so be on the lookout for that on Friday. And that's about it. Have a good night, y'all. Bye-bye, you sons of guns.